the oldest rivalry in the NFL on the first Sunday night of the year. It's the Coast. This is week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. It started in 1921, and now, 97 years later, it's edition number 197 of the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. I'll see you at halftime with a look back at some games from earlier today. But now we head to Lambeau. Standing by, Brandon Gott and Charles Davis.
And we come to you from one of the truly iconic stadiums in the NFL as you get a look at Lambeau Field here in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it, this crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Chicago Bears and the Green Bay Packers. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Packer team as we enter play here. And I don't think from what we saw down on the field before the game, there's any doubt they're ready to roll.
They passed the eye test, don't they? This team looks fired up and ready to play.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Bears, an early season tilt. And when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't...
It's the marquee game of opening weekend, and off we go on a Sunday night on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here comes the Packers offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by a young man, probably with some butterflies here. A lot of anticipation making his first NFL start.
What I enjoyed this week is that you asked to talk to his offensive center before the game and find out a little bit more about him and what the relationship is. And that was a pretty positive story, wasn't it?
Yeah, and really what I took away from that is just how it has permeated throughout the entire offensive line, the relationship they've had. It's really a group that's in sync.
They care about him. That's the thing. They really care. And when you care that much, you're going to play that much harder for him and give him a better chance to lead the team to wins.
And the big boys up front in the trenches. What do you think of the O-line, Charles?
I love them because this is a group that's so cohesive. They know what the man next to them is going to do at all times, and they operate as a terrific unit.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Here we go. Blue line it. Blue line it.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And here are the Chicago defensive starters.
And Grady Jarrett, their defensive tackle, not just a space eater, although he plays the run very well, knows how to get to the quarterback and provide that pressure in his face up the middle. Remember his 3 sacks in the Super Bowl against New England.
3rd play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5.
Now let's go. Blue line it.
And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt, and the Bears take over. So here are the Bears now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by a young man making his first NFL start.
I read something prepping for this game that he said prior to, and I think he really said it a few months ago, where he talked about he wants to have the type of season that at the end, he's buying gifts for all the guys who have helped him along the way. And I know that the team wants to hold him to that and really get into his wallet. But that's what good leadership gives you. You know, at the end of the season, because you've done a great job, QB, he's usually the guy who springs for the good stuff.
And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. And this defensive line will be looking to control the point of attack.
And that's what they've done throughout this season. This is a terrific unit. They play together very, very well, and they don't permit big plays to happen.
It looks like the Packers have added an extra DB on 3rd down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. A gain of 6 there on 1st. I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the 1st quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on. And I like what you just said. 1st quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up 1st downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack.
Here they come, here they come, here they come. Run.
One thing they definitely like about this youngster is his motor. He is full throttle on each and every snap. Loves to get after the quarterback, and that has to feel good to him right there. His 1st career sack. The Bears have put an extra defender in the secondary on 3rd down.
Yep, they're in the nickel.
Green 39. Green 39.
Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, what we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the 1st drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a
That's
fast
true.
start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
This is taken at the 15. Ooh, with a juke. So possession goes over here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Bears offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And this will go for 5 up to the 33.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here we go now.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Evans has it left side. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Here we go now. 3.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Okay, so now the question, how did he get that wide open?
Well, we both know that he shouldn't, because from the time they handed out scouting reports before this game, he was circled, starred, everything. Find him, cover him. But sometimes you can scheme a guy open. You put the receivers in a bunch. Maybe you move some motion. Maybe you put them on the backside of a formation, and all of a sudden you've got a better matchup. Every now and then, the offensive guys, they figure a way to get him open, even with everyone keeping eyes on him.
And that's certainly a guy they want to keep trying to scheme open. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give him a new set of downs.
2nd and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on 3rd down and pick up the 1st down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the 1st down. That's exactly what they did.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Evans. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Hang on now. Green 39.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. So just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive. The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
Let's go.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. It's his first career game, and now he has thrown his first career interception.
So let's face it, that's very simply his welcome to the NFL moment, isn't it?
Get it out of the way, right?
Get it out of the way, and he hopes it'll be the last for this game and not too many in his career.
Now trotting out there, the Packers getting ready to go. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a 1st down and change our momentum?
And he'll find some space up to about the 25. 5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
They run a draw here on 2nd down. Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start things out.
Now let's go. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the 1st.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down, and that's what he just did.
To throw now on first down. And this one is incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
All right, here we go. 3, 9, 10.
And he comes back with one complete. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Packers on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
All right, here we go. Blue,
It's complete left side to Aguilar. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first. And they're on 3rd and short. They just tried to spread the field. It worked.
And I think that the spreading of the field, the extra receivers, has really become the next in the evolutionary chain in the NFL. Go all the way back in that situation, you're handed to the fullback, right? As we evolve, maybe you pitched it to your tailback. Now you spread the field, and you have your choices of where to throw it and complete it for a first down.
39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Grady Jarrett with the tackle.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Here we go.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
One-handed, love the effort. Not much production on that play, though, huh?
Not a whole lot of yardage. You get that grab, you probably want a first down.
And he'll be the one in the film session and be saying, hey, run that one back, Coach.
Yeah.
Run that one back.
One more time.
Let's see that
2
again.
more time.
And they won't.
8 more time.
They won't. Didn't get much out of it.
Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Holding. Defense.
Wait a second. They did not accept that after the incompletion. Your look is just as puzzled as mine.
I got nothing for you here. You have to take that penalty, don't you?
It's 3 yards. Throwing a slant pattern here, complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll keep it moving down to the 15-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's got the 1st down as he gets it to the 8. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the 1st.
And there's a nice catch by Mike Gesicki, the rookie out of Penn State. And, partner, you saw him when you were covering Big Ten football. He didn't block very many people, but that's not what they asked him to do. They asked him to go downfield and catch the balls we just saw there.
Yeah, absolutely right, and he can do it with the best of them.
Yeah, and how about him in his high school video? Did you ever see any of that with him dunking basketballs and spiking volleyballs? His athletic ability is off the charts.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. On now is Kai Forbath to try the field goal. From the right hash here. Should be an easy one. And Forbath will put this one through, and it's 3-0. The Bears hit the scoreboard first. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game because anytime you get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now we get a peek at the captain of this offense heading back out there. He's got to dig deep here, doesn't he? Team's losing. He's not playing well either.
And they always tell you, don't press. You'll make things a little bit worse. But in this particular situation, you try and heighten your play a little bit. So far, he's thrown 1 interception. He wants to bounce that off with at least 1 touchdown pass in order to get his team back moving forward.
He completes it to Julio Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
This quarterback now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Blue 90.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Lambeau following these words. We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't want to miss that. A lot going on here in Week 1.
Set. Green 39. Green.
They run a draw here on second down. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Holding offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold.
Here we go now. Blue landing.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. The left side completion to Jones. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Grady Jarrett busting through to get him for a loss of 6. They'll set up a throw. Escaping the pressure right. Room to run inside the 40. And finally down at the 32-yard line. The coverage may be too good that time as he breaks away for 19 with his legs and a first down.
The sack on first down took him out of a traditional running play and put him in a passing situation, but didn't stop him from running anyway, did it?
No, I was surprised when he took off. I thought, oh, he's got some space. He might pick up 5, 6, 7 yards. He goes all the way and picks up the first. Back to throw here. To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll go down at the 28. Now before this second down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Here we go. Green.
He'll drop to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
This defense is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. He came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
The Packers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw. And Jones has it over the middle. Now the Bears electing to call a timeout defensively as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this first half. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and that will knock things up here late in the first half. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, and the net result, 3 points.
Take your disappointment and put it aside. 9 plays. Yeah, they want to end up in the end zone with a touchdown. I get that. But sometimes those 9-play drives pay dividends later with another 9-play drive that culminates in a touchdown when they wear down a defense.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you got to circle a guy around, and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball, and when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
And they'll run it here. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. The Bears on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Here we go now. 3, 9, 10.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 23-yard line. Now the Packers going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. This is taken at the 23. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Set. Blue, landing.
They'll throw now on the final play. Over the middle, complete. It's Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. So we've reached halftime here in our initial Sunday night telecast of the new season. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family, it's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. Next, we head off to check out another game. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been as tight as we expected. All tied through one half of play. With the call of the second half, let's get it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here's the Bears offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Call it a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll make it second down. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
Here we go now. 3, 19.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. On first down, they'll run it on the draw play. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
But you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Throw right side into the hands of Akins. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be third down.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
They had enough yards for the first down, but a clutch hit right there defensively jars it free. No first down.
Here's J.K. Scott now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. Their defense did its job, yielded no points. Now it's the offense's turn.
And how much fun is that when you set things up to start a half and you just tell you guys, hey, if you can shut them down, get it back for our offense, we can roll. And they played out perfectly. Now, can the offense do what they wanted to do at the half, which is find those weaknesses and now attack them and score some points.
And break this tie. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
Set. 3-19.
Now they'll run on the draw. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
So statistically, both of these offenses have a rough time getting a running game going. But, boy, what a nice play there defensively.
Tackling him behind the line, but you're right. You look at the numbers. Neither side looks on track in the ground game. The Packers on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13.
Set. 3-19.
They'll drop the throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, sometimes you just have to take things into your own hands, don't you? I mean, the offense is really struggling in this game. They're the ones keeping things going. They have to continue to play at that level.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, standing just outside his own goal line. Averaging 50 yards a boot so far as this one's away. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
And that's what friends are for.
Right? As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer and put your defense in a bad spot.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
All right, here we go. Blue landing.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Now let's go. Green 35.
to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs.
All right, here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
All right, here we go. Boom, landing.
On play action, they'll throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Julio Jones all alone. Touchdown, Packers. Julio Jones, 67 yards. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. And there, a post route started out right, caught it in the middle of the field, went into the end zone. What typically makes those successful, those deep post routes?
You need help from your complementary receivers, okay? The guy that you want to get the ball is the guy that we just saw catch it and take it into the end zone. So he needs help from the other guys who have to occupy anyone in the middle of the field. Whether it's one safety, sometimes you get 2 guys in there, either run routes at them so they have to cover them, or somehow freeze them by running underneath them and hoping to draw them towards the line of scrimmage and throw it over his head.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Onto the field now come the Bears. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. Despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Here we go. Green, 39.
They're going to look to throw. Airing this one out for Evans. And he can't come up with a pick. Nearly his 2nd of the game. Instead, 4th down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And a great job on special teams to down it, as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line. Getting set to go again on offense. We get a peek at Julio Jones now. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
Right, let's go ahead and detail this situation here. 3rd and long coming up, back near your own goal line. I would be very hesitant about throwing the football in this situation.
Maybe just run up the middle.
Yeah, I think that might be the spot for them. You got to try and find some space for your punter because you don't want him backed up where he has to alter what he does.
He's going to rifle one deep left side. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. Well, you were just alluding to it. They had the lead. Don't try anything silly. Run the ball, but they opted to throw it incomplete.
And now the punt, as a result, is really compressed, isn't it? So the mechanics have to be perfect. Snap, and he's got to get rid of it fast.
Here's Bradley Pinion now. He's been terrific so far. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Bears offense now getting ready to take over. Now, if you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes a better punter may actually determine the outcome.
They go play action here on 1st down, and they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
As a general rule, receivers love the comeback route because it puts them right in the sight lines of the guy throwing the ball. But in this case, the defender saw it and were able to knock it away.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. He'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
He's got Evans. A gain of 19 and picking up the 1st.
When Mike Evans sees man coverage, I don't think he's the only guy who gets excited. I'll guarantee the guy throwing the ball does because guess what? He's got a lot of options about where to place it because of Mike Evans' size and frame.
Here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's Bears football, but they trail on the scoreboard as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. What an opening weekend it's been already. Could the best finish be coming here on Sunday night? We'll find out as we come up on a 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. And they'll run it here. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
All right, here we go. Green.
They'll look to throw here. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. Tyler Davison getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. And you hate to say it with a rookie quarterback. He's done some good things, but overall, looked a little bit overwhelmed back there, hasn't he?
He certainly has, but in his defense, he hasn't had a lot of time to throw the football. You like the way I said that? In his defense.
In his defense, I got it.
You see what I did there?
Yeah, he needs better protection, that's for sure. So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90.
They'll set up to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Janoris Jenkins with good coverage that time as he was able to get in there and knock it away.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And Forbath will put this one through. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now let's discuss Julio Jones. They might want to mix something up defensively because he's been shredding them a bit, hasn't he?
That he has, and even with all the changes that you know are going on the defensive side of the ball, he's still finding ways to get open, finding the right spots, and the delivery's been pretty good too.
He's over 100 yards, has the 1 touchdown score to this point.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there, you know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. To the left side here for Eifert. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it, sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And they'll go with the ground attack here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around the training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Here we go.
Looking to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Certainly looked like maybe his third or his fourth read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Packer pressure, and down he goes.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
In a blink of an eye, that happened fast, and a big sack. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Evans has it left side. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Here we go now. Blue landing. Blue landing.
He'll look to throw. Looking for his tight end on the corner. It's complete. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. They'll set up a throw. And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. And this is going to be Packer football.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays, they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
Caught Eifert over the middle. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of Central Casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
After the delay, they're backed up even further for 3rd and long.
Here we go now. Green 39.
Back to throw here. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And now Chicago getting ready to go as they take the field. They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And a catch right side by Evans. And he lost the football. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You've probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
Here we go now. Boom, landing.
He'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is it just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. He's back to throw. Over the middle to Evans. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down. They'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. The Bears moving hastily in the hurry-up offense. Back to throw. And his throw here's incomplete. Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
Let's go. Green, 39.
Back to throw. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. A good pickup there, 26 yards. 1st down now, but the clock continues to move. He'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. That would have been a tough catch, but in this 2-minute drill, those are the ones you really hope your guys come up with.
Yeah, you don't want your guy to be able to take the out because it was a tough catch. You needed him to come up with that one because if he does, it alters the perspective of this 2-minute drill, doesn't it?
All right, here we go.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory. Well, certainly not the way that they were hoping that possession would end, failing to convert on fourth.
And now they've got to make sure that they keep their poise, they keep their confidence. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean if they get that same situation later that they shouldn't go for it again. The defense feels great, but the offense, they can't be despondent.
Now the Packers get set to go. 2 timeouts remaining defensively, but that shouldn't make much difference right here.
It really shouldn't, but a lot of coaches look at it similar to baseball with the intentional walk.
Always bringing in other sports.
Always, hey, listen, think about the intentional walk, right? What if one gets past the catcher? What if he uncorks a wild one and now you still have an opportunity? That's why they like to use them all the way through.
The Packers looking to get out of here with a win as they take the knee. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. Here's Bradley Pinion now as he's on to punt for Green Bay. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. And partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, Week 1. You had to fly over the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Packers, they start the campaign with a victory in front of an enthusiastic home crowd for a Sunday night. And they'll get to stay home again next week as the Minnesota Vikings come to town. Meanwhile, for Chicago, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Seattle Seahawks.